This is a new take on an old classic. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. You might not know that I'm from Detroit originally, Detroiter, born and bred, and one of the things that I love are my Detroit Lions. There are no fair weather fans for the Lions because there's never been any fair weather. One of the things that I love, though, is this jacket. This Detroit Lions varsity jacket was made famous in the movie Beverly Hills Cop because Axel Foley, Eddie Murphy, was from Detroit, and I had never seen one of these before. I remember him wearing this in the show, and it was awesome, and it's really cool. It's an iconic jacket. Lots of guys are seen with this jacket, including players, fans of Detroit, Detroiters. You know, it's actually held up really well over the years. It's still a good looking jacket. These kind of ivory sleeves here, the black, the blue. Even though the logo has changed over the years, the lion has stayed generally pretty much the same. The block letters are a little different here, but I just love this jacket. I love wearing it. It actually feels pretty good. Now, one of the things that actually happened here, and I didn't realize, is that talented actor Tom Hardy was actually a bit of a fan of the Beverly Hills Cop series, and actually in the new movie, Venom 2, wore a modified version of that same jacket. Now, this one is what I'm calling the stealth edition because it's all kind of grayed and blacked out here. The ivory sleeves are now replaced with these gray sleeves. The helmets are gray. One of the things that I've noticed here is that the logo tends to be missing. That might just be for licensing and royalty purposes, but otherwise it's generally the same thing. We even have the 67 here on the sleeve and stripes here, which would tend to be blue and white. It's actually a much more muted and kind of subtle take on that classic Lions varsity jacket. I love it. Actually, it looks a little bit more modern and rugged, so pretty cool. Now, one of the things that I will say here is that I picked this up on a website. I think it was called allamericanjackets.com. Now, it's a little funny of a name because I think the name just means that the jackets that they sell are representing all-American type of things, because I'm pretty sure that these are made overseas because it came DHL. Now, I will also say that from the time I ordered this to the time it arrived was only about 7 or 8 days. So it actually came very, very quickly, which I was impressed with. Now, there are a couple things that I want to tell you about this jacket. While it feels very nice, the material here is pretty heavy. It's got that varsity jacket weight to it. We do have the nylon lining, pockets inside here, kind of your standard snap closures right there. This material right here, I'm not sure if this is a PU, but it actually smells good. As you can see, it's very soft and supple. It actually feels a little bit better than my other jacket. I will say that all of the decals here seem to be glued on. I don't see any stitch marks, and there are some areas here where some of the corners are kind of peeled away just a little bit more than others. Now, they're not coming off by any means, but what it does mean is I think if some of this starts to fall apart, I could just use some of that fabric glue and put it back on. So I think that's all part of the way they construct these pretty quickly and cheaply. The other thing I will say here is that this jacket, the one I ordered years ago, I ordered an XL because large tend to fit me, but if I have any extra layers on, the XL just gives me a little more room. Now, one of the things that happens with these varsity jackets, whether you're getting one for your high school or something like this, is that they all tend to run a little small. I don't know why. So this one is an XL and it fits perfectly. It just fits me great. Everything about it, even if I have a heavy shirt on underneath, it's exactly the right size. Now, as I was reading the reviews on this jacket, a lot of people were saying that this jacket runs small, even while varsity jackets run pretty small. So I want to show you here that this is a 2XL, and this one seems to be exactly the same size as my XL. So I don't know if inflation is causing us to cut back on materials or something like that, but if you normally wear a large jacket and an XL in a varsity jacket, you're going to want to order the 2XL in this particular jacket because this seems like the XL to me. So weirdly, if you wear a large jacket in general, you're probably going to want the 2XL in this. If you wear an XL jacket in the varsity jackets, you're probably going to want the 2XL in this. So just kind of go a size up. That's my recommendation. I will also say that from a varsity jacket standpoint, this is actually a pretty good deal too. I want to say it was like $130. So a lot of varsity jackets can be a few $100. You probably know that if you bought one in high school, but this is pretty cool. It's got the new color scheme. It's missing the logo. But if you are a Tom Hardy fan, a Venom or Venom 2 fan, or Beverly Hills Cop fan, or maybe a Detroit fan, but I know no one's a Peter Von Panda fan. Either way, I really dig this jacket. So, looking awesome and celebrating the toughest town in America is going to make you live a little better. I'll put a link to this jacket in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper. We can live better than ever thanks to Peter.
awesome and celebrating the toughest town in America is... Ugh.